All right, welcome back. TB Joshua terminated, 10 others dragged by Onyibo besides him. What are we talking about? You wonder, I'm sure you're wondering, what are we talking about? TB Joshua's YouTube platform, the Emmanuel TV, blah, 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 got terminated on YouTube. This would be, I don't know, the 4th, 5th, 6th example. You move mad in these streets and you just want to do you can get silenced. Okay? You can get silenced. And I get it. They don't like the truth. These people, they don't like the truth. They always want to shut down the truth, Abi. That's what you think. That's what you think. They always want to shut down the truth.
Well, you're right.
The truth tell us. The truth tell us, for some reason, they're the one that gets shut down the fastest. Kanye West, Andrew Tate, right? Because they are wiser than the rest of the world. If you recall that lesson we just shared from Taya, I do want you to be yourself, but please, let's not be mad. Let's remember that there's a whole world. We're social beings, and you have to understand that there's a public involved, right? So the first thing, before I get into the 10 others, okay, I'm not going to talk about the 10 others now. Let's first of all talk about this. I want to first of all talk about this termination of a thing. Okay, I want to read some comments around that. Yeah, unfortunately, TB Joshua got terminated on YouTube, but I'm sure there will be some interesting, as reported by I think who reported it? I think it was Adeola Fayon that reported it. Let me see if I can find that really quickly. I think it was Adeola Fayon that reported it. Let me see if she has a new video on that, because that would be interesting. Adeola Fayon. Let's see, does she have a video on it? Not sure. Let's see. Adeola Fayon is a hell of a YouTuber too. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Yeah, she doesn't have it yet on here. But yeah, let me pull this up right here. I'll show you something. There you go. Aha, this one right here. Okay, so she posted this on Instagram. It says the content Open Democracy reported included TV footage of people with mental health issues being kept in chains. Mental health people being kept in chains. Can you imagine that? Okay. Yeah, there are people that get paid. You're still right about that. There are people that they literally get paid to get rid of certain bad behaviors. Okay. With mental health issues being kept in chains, cases of medical misinformation, we've seen that. If you tell people to stop taking their medication because because a miracle has happened, we live in a society where medical diagnosis and practices and prescriptions are being regulated. Like, remember, you live in a society of other human beings, right? So that is being regulated. Why? Because it can be harmful to other people. You might say, but it's my choice. No, your behavior, especially when you're extremely loud about it, can be harmful to other people. Yes, you will get silenced by the powers that be, by the owners of the platform. Like this platform we're on right now, we don't own this. They own it. They own the ultimate right to it, right? They can shut anybody down anytime, but they usually just don't walk around and shut everybody down just because. It's usually because the online community has deemed whatever you're doing as dangerous, right? To other people, to children, to the vulnerable of our society. What is the vulnerable of our society? People that are so hungry, they will take any kind of under the pillow miracle right now. All you have to tell them is that they will get rich tomorrow and they will follow you. That is vulnerable. Those are vulnerable people. Well, it's their choice. No, if they're in the millions, it's not really their choice. I'm sorry. I know you thought freedom of speech was really freedom of speech, but it's not, okay? Once you become dangerous to the rest of society, or you're deemed dangerous, you don't have to agree with it, but a majority deem you a little special, you might just get silenced, okay? So it says, cases of medical misinformation and examples of smear campaigns against women who spoke out about TB Joshua's sexual abuse. Who are these people creating this smear campaign? Or the rest of the vulnerable, the one that you feel like you are attacking their God of man, right? So these are the people, right? There's a smear campaign. Is it? Well, it's their choice too, I know, but the numbers will win eventually. Who spoke out about TB Joshua's sexual abuse? This is the second time in 3 years that its YouTube channel has been suspended, following previous breaches of the platform's community guidelines. At this point, people will say, well, he should go and start his own media platform too. Well, it costs a lot of money to run a YouTube platform, right? It costs a lot of money, a lot of effort, research. You have to be in it for the long run, right? And if all you want to do is just manipulate the masses so they can put money in your pocket, or so they can turn you into a god, you probably don't have enough resources to do that, right? So anyway, it's just what it is. Who is right, who is wrong? I don't know. Whoever you think is right, you're right. Whoever you think is wrong, you're right.
You're right.
Their team, okay, as part of the investigation with the BBC, Open Democracy analyzed Emmanuel TV's online presence, finding at least 50 abusive, quote unquote abusive, she's saying that's what they said, videos on YouTube. Their team reported the videos to YouTube, and the account was suspended on the 29th of January, that's 2 days ago. In a comment to the BBC, the Google-owned, that's YouTube, the Google-owned video sharing platform said Emmanuel TV had been terminated for violating hate speech policies. I wonder what that is. That's kind of weird. Somebody here said the video that proved Ajoke lied that she is TB Joshua illegitimate daughter was online. You didn't post or talk about it. Aha, so they are here already. Somebody said better. No, she didn't lie, and there's no video that proved that she lied. So clearly this person is one of the vulnerables. Better. Somebody said better. What he did in the past is over. He is in the past. I'm not a Christian, and in Islam we're not supposed to talk bad of the dead. Okay. One thing know about TB Joshua, he brought a smile to the faces of millions of people in need. Needless to talk about his miracles, whether they are true or staged. It really doesn't matter anymore. The true miracles he performed was that he turned his voice to money and used the money to feed the poor. His chapter is closed. Ours is still open. Have we searched within our hearts to see if maybe we're also not guilty of some sin? We all sin, although our sins vary on the spectrum of sins. Yeah, it is pretty wild to even call this a sin. We're not talking about sins now, since we're not God. It's pretty wild to turn these allegations into sins. These are not sins against God. These are wild allegations against humanity. There's a difference, right? But good point. We should all check our heart, right? Good point. A lot of people are saying good. We love this. I love this. Awesome. Tour. Who go fight you to buy? YouTube don't give it. They don't give it. Once they shut you down, it's a wrap. And at that point in time, and YouTube has been coming a long way. I've had YouTube channels that were shut down in the past, and they usually back then the system was not as good, right? But the algorithms are sharp. They're not perfect. They will never be perfect, just like none of this is perfect, right? But they're pretty good, at saying, you know what, if this platform got shut down, they got shut down for a reason, that's it. Sometimes they will just demonetize it, meaning they will not allow you to make money from the platform. They will allow you to post content. It depends on the severity of the system, but they have the rights because they are responsible for the kind of content that is being shared on the platform. All right, so somebody said they don't fight you unless you're doing what they don't understand. That's another one. Now, is this the beginning of the end? Yes. If you are basically raising up wheelchairs and you're saying some people receive miracle and they deem it a claim of medical practice, yes, it might be coming for you. And this is why some people say, well, they shouldn't allow anybody to do that. You're right, to a large extent, by the way, that freedom of speech, like we shouldn't be happy about other people getting shut down. But you have to try at your best to understand both sides. Okay? They have a platform to run. If they are dangerous to society, they will call them to that Capitol Hill. They will come and have to answer to the content that is not actually created by them. Here's what it is. Somebody tagged Adiola said, are you against Prophet TB Joshua? Question from the vulnerable. Somebody said, yep, she's always been. Shake my head. Another person say, and what if she's there? Anything wrong about it? Please. Somebody say, you shouldn't be concerned whether she is for that specific person or not. What matters is that she looks to the Most High. He alone is worthy. That's the only thing. By the way, let me say this right now, quick disclaimer. The only thing I encourage you here is that I'm not encouraging you to not follow your pastor. You can do whatever you want to do, how you want to decide to follow. You can even worship your pastor. You can put your head down and worship them. That's fine with me. But I also want to encourage you to have a personal relationship with God. Okay? It's just a suggestion, right? I also want to encourage you in that respect as well. But I see that Tunde had not posted this here as well, and I'm sure there's some comments under it that we might find interesting. Again, we're talking about TB Joshua's Emmanuel TV got shut down by YouTube. I don't know if it's back up. It might be back up. You don't know. It might come back up in the future. But what I'm telling you, what I'm warning you is that this is the beginning of the end of making claims that are unfounded. If it's deemed dangerous to the general society, yeah. Somebody said, oh yeah, foot soldiers and loyalists, sue YouTube or go and pray. Religious slaves. Jesus Christ. Me, I believe in religious freedom. You get to have faith in whatever freedom. I believe in that. Okay. But I also believe in the freedom of the consequences if you are deemed dangerous to the society. Okay. I also believe in that. I believe in the system policing itself, because it does a great job at that. Bhagavad, welcome. How are you? I greet you. All right, so somebody said, let me put this on the screen while you guys are, just to make sure that you guys are familiar with what we're talking about. That's not it, not that one, this one. One says, I love TB Joshua, will always love him. That's awesome. If you still love TB Joshua, gather here. About 1,700 likes, right? So you see that his influence, that's what they call influence. He's influenced a lot of people that will claim that is for the good, and you can't argue with these people. You just have to see for what it is. But those people also need to be respectful of the society we live in, because if there's serious allegations by more than one person, that has to be taken seriously. Okay, not because of him, because like that person said, he's passed on, so it doesn't really matter. But he's a highly influential character, persona, right? And that means it's a movement, and a movement is one of the hardest things to stop, right? And that means it's trained certain types of people to think they can get away with certain things allegedly, right? So the society at large is looking closer at some of these practices, and they're like, you know what, we gotta take this seriously. And that's what we're talking about. So it's not really about your freedom to worship TB Joshua, if that's what you choose to do. It's about have some relationship with God personally now. You think that's a bad idea? I'm asking you. Do you think that's a bad idea? Tell me, explain to me. Big God day with Prophet TB, no worry. Okay, so a lot of Prophet TB Joshua people are following today adult, as you can see. Somebody said, Nadem Sabi, all I know, I love him. Cause of this man, I'm able to use my 2 legs to walk. Leg that they said the final solution was to cut it. But God used this man to heal it. It's been 8 years now, and I'm walking fine and healed. I don't care what others think about him. For me, he is my prophet, and nothing can change that. All right. So if you notice what this person said, which they have the freedom to say, they talk about me. YouTube is not saying me. YouTube is saying community guidelines. You see the disconnect? It's community guidelines. We deem this content dangerous for the general public. For you, shout out to you, right? And they will even allow you to even have this opinion on your own channel. But the Emmanuel TV as a platform where they're showing people in chains. Did you hear what they said earlier? People that were claimed to be people that are going through mental health were put in chains. And we have so many people even on this platform that have said they went through a situation where they were trying to drag spiritual issues out of them, and they were using whips and things like that. You can't expect YouTube to allow such to stay on now. Let's our own brain. By the way, you have the freedom to believe what you believe. You can also go there to their church, right? But they don't want to hate the influence of people normalizing not going to regulated medical practices for the help that they need, because the masses at large are probably not going to have their legs healed. They will need some kind of medical attention so they can live sustainably and still be a viable part of society. If all of those people start to now count on miracle, they become a liability. Most of them, that's the reality, that's the numbers. They become liabilities for the society, right? Does that mean they can't pursue miracle? No, they can pursue miracle, right? But they don't want to encourage the large masses of people that may have one broken hand or one leg that's not functioning, or people that have 3 limbs that grew out of their body when they were born like that. You know, a lot of deformed situation that happens every day in this world. People are born with all kind of conditions, right? Majority of them, they will need medical attention, regulated medical attention, so that they also have the choice, also the chances to become a valuable part of society, as opposed to wasting their whole life chasing after a miracle that's unlikely to happen for them, just off of what we know. Right? Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No, it is not likely. Is it probable? No, it is not. That's what you're looking at here, right? Now, can they pursue both? Yes, they can also say, I want God to do a miracle, but they can also go to professionals to help them maintain, possibly heal, right? And, you know, why not get both, like the best of 2 worlds, right? Why not, right? I suppose, like, just close your eyes. Stop taking your medicine. Like, why? They don't need to stop taking their medicine, right? That's what they're fighting against. That's what it sounds like they're fighting against here. Somebody say, any agenda against the church, you will see them act immediately. If you still, I disagree with that, by the way. If you still love Prophet TB Joshua like this comment. See, this one is chasing cloud to TB Joshua's name. He got only 6 likes, weary. Anyway, how many likes do I have today? Let's just make sure that they do the needful. I hope you guys are hitting the like button. I appreciate you always. Let's see. Oh, thank you. You guys are the best. See my 14 likes standing there, gidigba. That's what's up. If you're still missing the like button, please hit the like button. Somebody said, just look at the popular comment here and cringe. If you are an aspiring pulpit charlatan, just gained the loyalty of 2 women. Kai, they enable rubbish a lot. It's usually about sentiments and emotions for most of them, not about fact and logic. What's the most popular comment? I can't see it, but that person that just typed that seems pretty angry. What God cannot do doesn't exist. God should help them open their own YouTube. Exactly. That's a good point. That's a fantastic point. But anyway, with regards to it's 15 there. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate you. That's TV Joshua, the Terminated, Emmanuel TV's platform. What are your thoughts about this? Do you think this is a continual fight against the church, or do you think you understand why it makes sense to you? Abi, you're just saying, I don't care. Let me know. If you think that it's well justified, it makes sense. No. If you think it's a fight against the church, that this is a continuous fight of the devil against the church, put a 1 in the chat, in the comments later on, put a 1. If you think that you understand, it just makes sense considering that we live in a society that you can understand, right? Put a 2. If you don't care, just put a 3, And do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. I'll be back. There's more.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.